All right, so it says, would you rather that Caesar were living and we would all go to our graves as slaves, or that Caesar were dead and we all lived as free men? I weep for Caesar in that he was good to me. I rejoice in his good fortune. I honor him for being brave. But his ambition, for that I killed him. There are tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his bravery, and death for his ambition. Who here is so low that he wants to be a slave? If there are any, speak, for it is he who I've offended. Who here is so barbarous that he doesn't want to be a Roman? If there are any, speak, for it is he who I've offended. Who here is so vile that he doesn't love his country? If there are any, speak, for it is he whom I've offended. I will pause for a reply. And they all kind of are like, no, no one, Brutus, no one. Brutus says, then I have offended no one. I've done no more to Caesar than you will do to me. The reasons for his death are recorded in the Capitol. His glory has not been diminished where he earned it, nor have those offenses for which he was killed been exaggerated. Okay, the only thing that he really did, Caesar did to upset anyone was deny someone's appeal, right? And it's, quote, a democratic society. They were like, they talk about democracy and liberty in their speeches. I don't know how much, about you guys, I don't know how much in, other countries it would be accepted, right? That if someone, a leader just rejected the appeal of someone, that all of a sudden it's like, nope, that's worth dying for. That's worth being killed for, okay? Remember, for the most part, when we saw Caesar's actions, he put others ahead of him, right? He said, no, let them go first. I would rather I speak last. I want to hear what everyone has to say. He actually, remember, seemed like a fairly decent ruler. We're not 100% sure about what happened in the beginning with him killing Pompey's sons. We don't know the background on that, right? We only know his actions within the story. And within the story, at least, Caesar seems like maybe pretty decent. So Brutus finishes talking, and Antony comes in with Caesar's body, okay? And Brutus keeps talking, okay? He says, here comes his body mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no part in the killing, will benefit from his death, receiving a share in the commonwealth, as you all will. With these words I leave, just as I killed my best friend for the good of Rome, so will I kill myself when my country requires my death. This is an interesting line. I'm wondering if this is what do you guys think? Could that be a foreshadowing something? It says, so will I kill myself when my country requires my death. We're going to find out. So the citizens are like, live, Brutus, live, live, kind of cheering him on, right? And the first citizen says, let's carry him in triumph to his house. So I'm a little confused. I don't know about you guys. Think about it. The opening, right? Remember, this is a persuasion and people kind of being a little bit fickle. Opening of the story, everyone's cheering on Caesar. So happy, right? They're lining the streets, okay? Remember, throwing flowers, cheering him on. Now they're cheering on Brutus, who killed Caesar, with not a whole lot of explanation on exactly what Caesar did, right, to deserve this. They just said, oh, he had too much ambition. But we never saw him really have a ton of ambition. I don't know. The next citizen, let's build a statue of him near those of his ancestors. And the next one says, let him become Caesar. And another one says, Caesar's better qualities exist in Brutus, and we will crown him. They say, let's bring him to his house with shouts and celebrations. Brutus says, my countrymen. Someone says, silence, Brutus speaks, quiet. Brutus says, good countrymen, let me leave alone. I want you to stay here with Antony to pay respects to Caesar's corpse and listen to Antony's speech about Caesar's glories, which he gives with our permission. I ask that none of you leave except myself, until Antony is finished. So Brutus exits, but everyone kind of stays. So they say, let's stay here, Mark Antony says, let him mount the pulpit. We'll listen to him. Noble Antony, mount the podium. And Antony says, for Brutus's sake, I am indebted to you. So he says, thanks to Brutus, I get to speak to you. And then a citizen kind of questioned, said, what does he say about Brutus? Shakespeare's kind of making fun at common folk, saying they don't understand everything. Another one says, he says that for Brutus's sake, he finds himself indebted to all of us. And another one says, he better not speak badly of Brutus here. They're like, yeah, Caesar was a tyrant. That's for sure. We're lucky that Rome is rid of him. Okay, well, no one was complaining in the beginning, right? They were all cheering Caesar on. Antony says, you gentle Romans. Friends, Romans, countrymen, give me your attention. I have come here to bury Caesar, not praise him. The evil that men do is remembered after their deaths, but the good is often buried with them. It might as well be the same with Caesar. The noble Brutus told you that Caesar was ambitious. If that's true, it's a serious fault, and Caesar has paid seriously for it. With the permission of Brutus and the others, for Brutus is an honorable man, they are all honorable men, I have come here to speak at Caesar's funeral. He was my friend. He was faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms brought wealth to the city. So he's kind of saying Brutus has done quite a bit for Rome. Is this the work of an ambitious man? When the poor cried, Caesar cried too. Ambition shouldn't be so soft. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all saw that on the Lupercal feast day I offered him a king's crown 3 times, and he refused it 3 times. So Caesar refused being crowned. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious. And no question, Brutus is an honorable man. I am not here to disprove what Brutus has said, but to say that I know. You all loved him once, and not without reason. Then what reason holds you back from mourning him now? Men have become brutish beasts and lost their reason. He says, bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause until it returns to me. So he kind of calls Brutus out, right? And he calls out they're all saying that Brutus or that Caesar's so ambitious, yet I never actually saw him be ambitious, but Brutus is saying he is, right? And Brutus is saying that this is the way that things are. So I guess that he was, I'm not sure. And then he kind of says, I'm not sure why you're mourning him if you all think he was so bad. And then he it's almost like he calls him out, but then he kind of backs off and says, oh, I'm just so upset, right? Just ignore me. I'm just